over 400 games in the Xbox Game Pass catalog, and our goal is to get every single achievement for every game. And the first game that we are going to be playing is Starfield. Before we get into the video, I wanted to say that I already had 9 achievements unlocked for when the game first came out, and they were all the beginning story mission achievements or go into space for the first time, reach level 5, so it doesn't really impact a whole lot. Which takes me to my first achievement was What Remains, the intro to Shattered Space. You board a creepy space station, get yelled at by a stressed out ghost who thinks you're an intruder, and then decide, yeah, sure, I'll fix your haunted spaceship. That sounds safe. So I jumped to a new star system thinking I'm going to have a friendly meetup on the surface. Nope. Everyone down there basically wants to throw hands. Then Ghost Guy pops up again mid situation, starts talking to me. Now they're convinced I'm some divine prophet or space messiah. Quick heads up, some of the achievements going to pop up on the screen when I earn them. So whenever that happens, I'll just throw up a screenshot with the day that I got it so you know I'm not out here faking it. And after all that talking, that's when we get the achievement. Right after that, we move on to the next achievement, the Promise Broken. House Varun asked me to go through their initiation, which basically means crawling through a dark cave and doing some tasks to prove I am worthy. By the end, I'm officially one of them. Then they tell me to meet with a scientist who's working on some kind of weapon to help deal with these phantom things that are making their life a nightmare for everyone, which gives us the achievement. Up next is Zealous Overreach, and his quest is unhinged in the best way. House Kadik asked me to rescue one of their big brain scientists so we can finish this anti phantom weapon. Sounds pretty simple, right? Nope. Mid mission, one of the members straight up asked me to kill her and everyone else to protect her house's power. I was like, cool, but that'll be 10,000 credits. My companion absolutely lost it, like full on, what the hell is wrong with you mode. Fair, but still, credits are credits. That leads us to the cave where the hostages are being held. It's packed with enemies, so we fight our way through. Classic shoot first, ask questions later. Then comes the hard part, Sahima. I chose to take her out, like the house member asked, which yeah, did not go over well. My companion completely lost it and straight up left me. That decision definitely came back to bite me later when it was time for one of the final achievements. But hey, we finished the mission. Told the house leader the kidnappers killed her and got paid. Achievement unlocked. That leads into the next main achievement, where I'm set off to find another cave, because apparently everything important in this galaxy is in a cave. This one has a gate inside and it connects back to the same ghost guy from earlier, except when I reach him, he tells me that the gate is still open, that we might be able to save him. Sounds pretty cool, right? Except right after that, I get swarmed by like 100 vortex horrors and I died. A lot. But eventually I made it out, dragged myself back to the scientist with the information, and that's when I got the achievement. Our next journey to align the houses brings us to House Dulkef, where we're given our next objective, investigate a dam and retrieve a crucial code for a science experiment, one that could power up our weapon in ways science probably never intended. Sounds easy enough, but nothing is ever that simple. The dam is crawling with phantoms with full intent to fight us, demanding that we turn back. Of course, that only makes us want to move forward more. As we battle our way through, we also get to enjoy a completely unnecessary game of the floor is lava, because apparently dodging ghostly attacks wasn't challenging enough. After countless deaths and enough respawns to question my life choices, we finally secured the interlock to power the weapon. Victory, right? Well, almost. There was still one more choice to make, one that could define my legacy for better or worse. The second interlock, the last safeguard standing between the phantoms and total destruction up top. Removing it meant wiping the phantoms out for good. No more shattery threats lurking in the dam. But there was a catch. The dam would overflow, drowning the farmers up top and reducing their land to a waterlogged wasteland. Innocent lives would be ruined, their hard work washed away in an instant. A moral dilemma? Sure. Did I hesitate? Absolutely not. I was already too deep in my villain arc to turn back now. With zero remorse and questionable sense of justice, I removed the second interlock. The flood came, the phantoms vanished, and the farmers, well, they'll have a new lakefront property to contemplate their losses. Was it the right choice? Probably not. Was it my choice? Oh, yeah. Which takes us back to the scientists giving them the interlock and also getting the achievement. And now, the final mission before securing the ultimate achievement in the House Vern questline, helping House Vithal. This one was a bit uneventful. House Vithal's heir decided politics wasn't his thing and vanished, leaving his father both furious and desperate enough to order a hit on his own son. I mean, it's whatever. No dramatic speeches, no heartfelt pleas, just a simple go find him and end him. Naturally, I agreed. Tracking him down was easy, and eliminating him was even easier. With that, the last piece needed for the weapon was officially secured. No time for regrets, just one last step before everything comes together, which is finalizing the weapon and shooting it at the anomaly, giving us the quest to get the last achievement, the Scaled Citadel. And when I was doing the last achievement, I got the achievement Dark Matter for eliminating 300 human enemies, but it didn't pop up, so I'll just show it here. And finally, onto the final quest of the House Varun, where we take all the information we have and finally go into the Citadel, meeting a lot of the enemies from the Zealots to the Phantoms. It was a pretty cool quest because you get to put everything to bed, and towards the end, you find out Anasco, the original ghost guy leading you through all this, he's kind of a maniac and a murderer, and he wants you to release this army of Phantoms that he made. But I need to make at least one ethical choice in the game, so I terminated the life pods, ran for my life to tell the council that I succeeded and that they owe me their life for saving them, and got the achievement. Now this is where things start to get easier per se. Instead of going after the main story, I decided to go ahead and do all the faction stories first and then tackle the main. And to start off, we did the Ryujin quest line where you become I guess, a delivery boy. I don't know. Honestly, I was kind of bored with this whole quest line, but others think it was the best out of all of them. So what do I know? But after we deliver these coffees to these simps, we get the achievement. And now there are only two achievements left in the Ryujin quest line. So the next achievement is completing the quest Guilty Parties, where there is a betrayal in the company, and we have a lead on someone named Imogen. And once we confront her, she says that she has evidence of her innocence, but we didn't care and took her out. We grabbed the evidence to find the real traitor, and once we got back to the Ryujin Tower, we explained what happened and got the achievement. And also during this quest, I got the achievement that you visit 20 star systems. And for some reason, my next two achievements that I got, the footage was corrupted, so I couldn't record it, but it was smuggling contraband and completing 30 terminal missions. The final quest for the Ryujin quest line was just talking to everyone on the board, trying to convince them to buy this other company and become a monopoly, and also to vote yes to distribute a Neuralink chip that goes into your brain, because that's a smart idea. But I guess Elon Musk is trying to do the same thing. So I'm game. We also are bringing the traitor to justice for the crimes that she has committed, and after that, we get the achievement. Now, when I was doing a little bit of free roam, I kind of got sidetracked and I wasn't recording, but I got two achievements during that time. I got the achievement Elite, which you reach level 25, and then Jacked In, which you access 50 computers. Those are just gimme achievements. I'm sorry. Don't be mad. And the next quest line I started was the Crimson Fleet one. And I'm skipping ahead a little bit because I already started the quest line in my previous run, so that's why I'm a little bit into the quest, but it's whatever. This is by far my favorite quest line. There's a lot of cool missions to do, and the ending is honestly pretty awesome. You get to decide whether to stick with the Crimson Fleet or stay with Sistef. And honestly, if you pick Sistef over the Crimson Fleet, you are a cuck. I'm sorry, the Crimson Fleet is too cool to pass up. But you get the best there is achievement by breaking into a test lab and stealing a prototype of a device called a comm spike. Because we needed to reach a bank ship with a bunch of credits, but the ship is near a star, so this will help us a lot. Which takes us to the last achievement for the Crimson Fleet. After you deal with the bank ship, you steal the credits, and the choice of sticking with Sistef or Crimson Fleet is upon us. And of course, I chose the Crimson Fleet. Sistef warped to where the Crimson Fleet is, and a giant space battle erupts, where I died a lot because I thought it was a good idea to be in the first ship they give you in the game. But after defeating them in space, we board the command ship and start killing everybody. And once we reach the Admiral, we spare him and return him to the Crimson's fleet ship to become rich and powerful, giving us the achievement Legacy End. During the Legacy Ends achievement, we also receive Cyber Jockey achievement where you bypass 50 digital locks. After the Crimson Fleet questline, we decided to go and do the Freestar Rangers since it was pretty simple and fast. But I didn't record the first or second mission. Well, I don't know what happened with the second mission, but it's like not in my library, so I don't know what happened. But you basically follow up the events after the first mission where you track down and you collect evidence. You go to a clinic, you start interrogating patients, uncovering hidden records, and track down a lady named Maya who went to an abandoned asteroid mine. And you're supposed to pretty much ask her what's going on, but then you eventually kill her. But here's the achievement. That leads us into the final achievement for the Freestar Rangers, the Hammer Falls. It's all just the same stuff with the Ryujin and the Freestar Rangers. It's either someone's corrupt and you got to either expose them or keep it silent. It was very repetitive. That's why I'm like keeping these kind of short. There really wasn't nothing going on. You either take his side or you expose him, and I decided to expose him. Going back to the Freestar Rangers encampment, and they make me a full blown Freestar Ranger. They actually give me some pretty cool stuff and some credits, so I guess that was pretty cool. With only one faction remaining, the UC Defense, I already had two of the achievements from my first run, so I only had the last mission to pretty much do. The Legacy Forged achievement. It was actually really fun. The whole story behind the UC defense is entertaining, and it keeps you intrigued and makes you want to play more of this faction quest line. In my personal opinion, it's the best. You basically join a scientist group to explain what's going on with these terramorphs or these giant monster attacks that's been going on, and it eventually comes back to the same repetitive nature of all the other faction stories, how there's someone from the inside causing these attacks. So once you get all this done and you go back and you tell pretty much the president of the United Colonies that everything's taken care of, they make you a full-blown citizen in quotation marks, and they give you a bunch of money, and then they also give you the cool achievement. Now, with all the faction quests done, we can focus on the main story, which is actually very entertaining. We start off by going for the achievement Into the Unknown, where you have to find these pieces of metal that look like a dash panel from your car and connect them to the others. And it starts off with you going to the Eye, where you get the location for two artifacts. You travel those planets and secure the artifacts, but then you go to this other planet to investigate an anomaly. And once you complete the puzzle for it, you absorb its powers, and you are pretty much like Rogue from X-Men. If you know, you know. Then you go back to the lodge where you tell your friends that you have powers, and now they tell you to prove it. After that, you get the achievement. From there, we take one of the Constellation members to make a deal on buying an artifact somebody found. But the mission wouldn't be in the game if the deal went smoothly. After we finalize the deal, a security guard comes up to me and tells me that the artifact belongs to his boss and that we must return it. We tell it to back off, but they impounded our ship. So now we have to go to his company and force him to release our ship so we can return back home. And this is where the story gets kind of fun. We meet a person called Starborn. He tells us that we are not allowed to gather artifacts anymore and must leave it behind, giving us the achievement All That Money Can Buy. During the main story, I got a sub achievement, Build an Outpost. I don't know why it took so long to get this, but I really wasn't into the whole building mechanism of this game. But I mean, you'll see later on that I have to get into it. Also, and for some reason, I also lost the footage for the quest further into the unknown. With us almost done with the main story, the next achievement is High Price to Pay, where the Starborn threatens and attacks the lodge where your house is. And ultimately, you have a choice to either kill someone or save someone. And I decided to go to the Eye to save the people on the space station and let everybody in the well, not everybody, but one person died on the lodge. For the next achievement, in their footsteps, you have to board the Starborn ship and you talk to two Starborn. One's called the Emissary, one's called the Hunter. And basically, they're both trying to convince you to follow them and do their quest, kinda. The emissary is all about peace, and he wants you to use the artifacts for good. And the hunter, obviously, he wants you to kind of be just like a powerful being, telling you your potential of being one of the most powerful creatures or humans in the universe. After that, our next achievement is Entangled, where you are in a Stranger Things episode and you pretty much go into the upside down fighting these creatures to get one of the last artifacts. And I mean, you guessed it, you have to make a choice. There's a decision to stay in this universe or go back to yours. And to be fair, I decided to go back into my universe because why wouldn't I? And ultimately killing the guy in the other universe. Which takes us to the second to last achievement, Unearth, where you grab the last artifact, which is located on Earth, and you finally understand what happened to the people of Earth, and you understand why the human race ended up in space. The final achievement will be one of the last achievements that I get, because once you complete the Great Leap achievement, it starts a new game, and I still had a bunch of grinding achievements to knock out. But the Unearth achievement is a really fun one. You get to go to Earth and you head to NASA and you understand the story of how humans developed light speed travel and what made them go into space. And towards the end, once you leave the NASA building, you're confronted with the emissary or the hunter, and you have to make a choice which side to pick. And I went with the emissary, completing the quest. From here on out, I focused on grinding achievements off screen since I took my time completing them compared to the actual story. Starfield is a massive game that isn't designed for quick achievement hunting. By the time I finished all the story achievements, I was only level 47. And to level up efficiently, I had to build 25 animal habitats and I had to farm for 2 days straight. It was a grind and miserable. Up to this point, the game was actually incredibly fun. Starfield is an amazing experience with a fantastic story. And honestly, the reviews do not give it enough credit. I also apologize for the scattered nature of some of these achievements in the video. The next achievement guide will have a more organized layout. I kind of know what I'm doing now. This is my first video doing this type of content, so I'm sorry. I just lost a bunch of footage and spent way too much time on this game. It was too big of a project to take for my first one. I couldn't get the achievement for having the max affinity for a companion. I completed the quest. I married Sarah, but the game glitched and didn't give me the achievement. I don't know what happened. So, I made the executive decision to just count it. It's not going to show up that I completed the quest, but I really don't care. I completed the quest or the achievement. I'm sorry. But, if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon.